I'm a lifelong Bristol resident, and if you know me, you know that I'm all about veterans. The Bristol Veterans Council, our mantra is honoring past, present, and future veterans. And we're extremely fortunate to have the boulevard and the monuments that are there that pay tribute to our brethren who have gone before us. So I'm going to tell you tonight about an organization. If you'll permit me, I'll just read a quick vignette. They're called the Special Guerilla Unit, who are the SGU, LAU, Hmong Vietnam veterans. The U.S. Secret Army Special Guerrilla Unit service in the Vietnam War in Laos from 1961 to 1975. From the beginning of the Vietnam War, the CIA and Special Forces of the United States recruited, trained, supervised, led, and paid Lao Hmong soldiers to fight the NBA in Laos and the Ho Chi Minh Trail for the benefit of the United States Armed Forces. This falls into the category of the U.S. military. During this time, from 1961 to 1975, and for several years thereafter, the Lao Hmong lost over 35,000 dead, and many, many more were wounded. Their valor, loyalty, and effectiveness fighting the NBA were never in doubt. The United States Congress has recognized these war veterans with citations and medals for their efforts in the Vietnam War. Also, a monument at Arlington National Cemetery honoring these brave soldiers has been established and on display since 1997, although none are eligible to be buried in this revered cemetery. Many thousands of these soldiers escaped the communist control of Laos and found themselves in refugee camps in Thailand. From Thailand, many immigrated to the U.S. and have become honorable citizens. These former soldiers have gathered together to form their own veterans organization, the SGU, Lao Hmong Vietnam Veterans. Many thousands of the SGU did not escape and were captured and sent to POW camps. Needless to say, the conditions of these camps were deplorable and many died. But several dozens of these POWs also made their way to the USA. The SGU, Special Guerrilla Unit, of the Secret Army of the United States Army, in pursuing the United States and the city of Bristol for full recognition of the military duties, looked for the mayor to provide a memorandum of record allowing them to raise money to put a monument, their national monument, on a former Truden and Platt property on Down Street, adjacent to the Down Street Cemetery. The plan is as follows. With this memorandum, they will start their fundraising. They're willing to pay for in full whatever remediation is necessary for that brownfield abatement, and then establish their monument on top of the platform that used to be the depot, for lack of a better word, where the trucks unloaded. I will give you the quick, down and dirty rendition of what this monument is shaping up to be. Picture, if you will, a vintage era Huey helicopter stationed on a pole, but the pole is hidden with the look of a rope going down. That pole is attached to that base. That concrete base will have a fallen airman and a Special Forces Guerrilla Unit soldier rescuing him, looking skyward to this rope, and on the base will be all of the vintage era accoutrement of what the Special Guerrilla Unit soldier would be carrying and the downed airman would have had prior to his rescue. So the whole thing is basically an education memorial, but the key to it is that concrete platform will then tell the story of this very, very special organization, because unfortunately for them, without any chance to have a national recognition in Arlington of the magnitude of what they have and nowhere to tell their story, it's going to die with them. And because of Bristol's veterans population and what we do for our country and for this city relative to paying tribute, the colonel that is in charge of the unit for the country is named Colonel Sarr. He lives in Wethersfield. He saw our boulevard 2 years ago when we rededicated the bridge, fell in love with it, and asked if he could put a monument there. The answer was unfortunately no, because there's not a Bristol connection. However, after doing some investigating and look at what happened in Down Street in that property, imposing to them this option if they would pay for remediation, I got a thumbs up, and they started talking to all of their organization nationwide, and they're all on board. So again, in conclusion, Mayor, if we could get a memorandum of record with your approval, they are now a 501c3 organization, and we'll start their fundraising. And I'll take any questions.
If I could just add one more thing, and I don't know if you wanted to say this or not, but you already secured a Huey helicopter.
Yes, I did. I'm anticipating good things from this meeting tonight.
And we've already cleared a space with Walt. He was gracious enough to find us a place to store the helicopter until they're able to raise the money. Pat, you're pretty Pat's pretty excited that this can happen fairly quick.
I do. And some of the gentlemen that they're talking to already are formal CIA high-ups that are willing to write checks.
And also, Pat, just for the councils, this did go before the Veterans Council.
Veterans Council has approved this in entirety. The only caveat was it couldn't be on the boulevard because that's for Bristol residents.
But it's close enough to the boulevard where it's literally right next door.
And once approved, they will become adjunct members of the Bristol Veterans Council. We're going to do that for that organization.